Welcome back to Homade with Manho, the mediocre cooker. Today we're doing shepherd's pie, the way Grandma used to. Now she called it goulash, and we're gonna use her method of canned veggies. We're gonna be using some French green beans, a can of whole corn, some crushed tomatoes, about a pound of ground beef, and got some homemade potatoes boiling. We're gonna make some homemade mashed potatoes. Now this beef mixture is gonna go on the bottom, mashed potatoes on top, topped by some cheese. Throw it in the oven. Come along, it's gonna be a ride you want to see. Potatoes are boiling. We're gonna go ahead and get our oven set. We're gonna do 375. We're gonna take our cornel out of the oven. That's a expensive piece. Now, you get your cast iron nice and hot, and we're going to toss in the meat. Listen to that sizzle. Now that hamburger meat is brown, we're going to go ahead and season it. Some comino. We're going to season with our heart today. We don't need to measure anything. Just want it to be tasty. A little bit of onion powder and a little bit of garlic powder. And then a sprinkle of the ocean. And give that a stir. And now we're going to add in our can of veggies. There's the green beans. Here's corn. We're going to toss in the whole can of these crushed tomatoes. And give that a stir. Want everything to be combined nicely. We might need a little bit of water. Nah, it'll be fine. Now we're going to heat this through. Combine all of this. We're going to put that all into our baking dish with our mashed potatoes on top. Those are still cooking. Now we're going to just use some milk. And remember that homemade butter we made the other day? Here it is, all wrapped up, parchment. And look at that. Look at that log of butter. Yep. So we're going to use some of our homemade butter with our homemade mashed potatoes to go ahead and put on top of this. See you in just a minute. All right. Once your potatoes are soft like you, we're going to go ahead and get them drained. We're going to get these homemade mashed potatoes squished up. We're going to make them creamy like your mom with a little bit of our homemade butter and a little bit of that milk or leche. I'll let you decide. All right. Now we're going to add a little bit of the milk, just a splash. We're going to add a little bit of that ocean, again, a couple sprinkles. And secret ingredient, white pepper. Black pepper shows as black specks in your food. White pepper gives a milder pepper flavor and doesn't come up as black specks. It'll blend into your white foods. So just another hoe tip for you if you're wanting to add pepper without having to see the black specks in your food. All right, now this isn't quite creamy enough because we're gonna have to be able to spread it. So we're gonna add a little bit more milk. Again, play this one by eye. You want it to sound like your wife after a fun night out. There you go. All right. Nice and smushy. All right. So our potatoes are ready. Now we're going to take our goulash. It's been sitting in our pan. We're going to scoop this into our baking dish. Ooh, losing my grip here. We're going to scoop that in. And then spread that around. Spread that out. All right. You want it to go corner to corner in your baking dish. You want it to be about halfway up, not all the way to the top, because remember, you got to leave room for your potatoes, and then you got to leave room for your cheese. You want your cheese to be going everywhere. So, all right. Next up is going to be these potatoes. We're going to just put them on top. We're going to spread them out. Simple meal, easy to make. Grandma used to do it with leftovers. She'd make goulash one day, the second day we're having the shepherd's pie. So we'd have this big old pot of leftover meat and corn with the green beans. And then the following day she'd make some mashed potatoes and throw it all together, and we'd have dinner 2 nights. All right, so mashed potatoes go in. Now, secret ingredient. Bum, bum, bum. We're gonna top it with some queso. A healthy handful of cheese. All over the top. Let this go corner to corner. The more, the better. More better. All right. Now, just make sure it's all spread about. There's enough to cover everything. Now, this whole thing we're gonna toss in the oven about 15-20 minutes, or until this cheese is nice and bubbly on top and melted. See you on the other side. All right, timer just went off. We're gonna pull this out of the oven, but first a little drinky poo. Hold on. Cheers, genitals. Good stuff. All right, let's get this pulled out. That's the only thing that I pull out. And now, we get this here on the counter. Look at that. Bubbly cheese, bubbly goulash underneath, crispy mashed potatoes. Now we're gonna let this cool, and then we're gonna enjoy. Remember, you can do it. We'll see you next time.